Hello students, this is the module prepared for you, a part of the course Academic Integrity and Plagiarism. In Unit 3 we have style manuals, style manuals. So in previous module somewhere I distinguished what are the style and what are the manuals and what are those popular in social science and humanities, and in two blocks they are divided. So with the extending those views, so what exactly these style manuals does, very simplest way, but if you think you can mug up or you can remember, you can like we used to remember in school days, you cannot know or remember or mug up the entire rules and regulations in these styles. Only the best way I would tell you, the moment you go on writing, so these rules time to time will be followed up, Why do you say that not even needed? Because at the initial level, like you all are beginning PhD, doing your doctoral research, or some of you are master students. When you grow old and go on doing the works, probably different varieties of sources will come across. Suppose at the beginning, mostly you need books of different types, maybe authored books and edited books, art-based journal articles, and gradually, the journal articles, the format in which that journal articles are available, whether it is in a printed format or it is in online formats or it is through aggregators. So aggregators these days are coming up, like a particular journal may be available in different, apart from the publisher's website, different aggregators like brokers, like in go to the market, the brokers. So that way little more needs to be added, like DOI and many. So don't jump in to know many things, So that is the problem with the you all students. Even used to do that way also. Our teachers used to say, suppose a book, beginning with a book. Okay, I'll show you a book. Book is this, So book is this. There is book Ruskin Bond, Lone Fox Dancing, my autobiography. You know that what is the, suppose you want to you are interested to borrow something or lend something from a particular source. That source may be a book, simple single author book. Single author means author is one. When it is two, then double or joint authors, it could be as many authors. Okay. So in that case, suppose you are borrowing this, first of all, and first what it comes, the borrowing matter, the cited matter, first of all, the cited matter, okay, cited matter suppose, and cited matter followed by the page, from which page you are citing, because as I told you in my previous modules, citation, the authorship has a direct link with the readership also. Suppose I take this second paragraph or the first two sentences of the second paragraph, I copied somewhere, maybe electronically, maybe typed or maybe handwritten, and you need to know first, like from which page you take. This is important. Sometimes you are a beginner, you know how to take certain matters from here, but you often forget to take the page number, because it's 200-300 pages unless and until you mention the page. Although in these manuals, if the page missing, then there is provision how to mention the missing page, but at this level you must know this is page. Okay. Second, is that, suppose second is that, and about the book, in which book has a title, first author. You try to understand. Ruskin Bond is the author, and the title, Ruskin Bond is the author, Lone Fox Dancing is the title, and you know the title sometimes subtitles also followed by, like mine, Otto, this book, these two are titles, okay. So then another is your publisher means there is a publisher who brings out this content in a bookshelf and publish and sells in the market, and people buy and read or whatever. So again, the publisher, publisher has a place, address, like we all are having address. Publisher is having an address and a place. No, not the street or lane or it's not that. Only the address means the city. Maybe it is New Delhi, New York, Chennai, okay, Brisbane, like this. Not the country. Okay. Secondly, a year of publication, like year of publication is that how old, what does this year, like our date of birth, this gives impression about how old is this book, because that shows that I am not citing, quoting or very old books or fresh books, just published 2020 or in 2019, so that it has the authors, the readers will be having a good impression. This is the latest book. Probably whatever the content is available, maybe of very interesting, that will including the latest. This is a popular book, but in academic books I don't have to show from all the disciplines. So in that way you can, the readers will show much interest in reading those books. Okay, so this is what the place, and sometimes edition also. Edition is when the book is published with new changes with a similar title, that becomes changes, that becomes the edition. And first time published book, we don't mention those elements in our references. So this is what. Secondly, what does the rule says? How do you write? The items. Suppose we have picked up a couple of items. One is the author, one is the title, the publisher, and the place of publication, and the year of publication. So how do you know? How do you find all these? Probably we sometimes there is a play. Sometimes we call it a copyright page or copyright page. A verso of copyright page is there. So in this copyright page, everything is mentioned. So you need not to be worried, except the cited matter inside this book and the page number, and rest of the things are available here. So you need not to be worried where to find those elements. Second thing is that while making a bibliography, the reference list. So suppose this item as a book, the rule says that first you mention the author's name like Ruskin Bond. So they say you put the surname first. They say it's not that mandatory. Even there are style manuals. They say no, write the in a normal way or formally Ruskin Bond. Don't say. But in this case, APA, they say Bond Ruskin. Even this putting surname also in your flight ticket, suppose buying a vehicle, so all these you things in that way. Then in APA they say you bring the year first, immediately succeeding after the author, like Bond, Ruskin, put a bracket, parenthesis, then the year of publication, so maybe 2018, 2019 like this, then close the bracket, then you stop. So these are the elements in this while making the reference list. Put the elements one after another and join them with a punctuation mark. So like I say, stop. Then begin with the title. So title writing also, it says you write title with the first letter in caps, like lone fox dancing. Suppose you are entering this, then it should be L only, lone fox dancing. Okay, and put a because another subtitle is there. For subtitle, put a colon. Then my autobiography, APA style says, if something follows after colon, then the immediate first letter should be in caps like my M, and the rest will be in Roman normally. Okay, running letter. So then title is over. Then before entering into the next item, then put a punctuation mark, because the punctuation mark should be in between two elements. Very simple. We have studied and we know about this. But here it is that suppose you are following a pattern like this APA or MLA. So don't put your things. Don't be critic about. You simply follow the rules, and sometimes English grammar is used. Suppose in case of APA, it says that only first letter should be in caps and rest will be in Roman. Normally running letter. But it comes about proper noun. Okay, proper noun like name of a place, city, New Delhi, New York, Gandhi. So obviously that comes under. You should put English grammar. Little somewhere wherever English grammar is used, and use those English grammar, but not part of it is understood rather that way. And again, while writing this, so he said that all letters. But in case of MLA, suppose you MLA handbook you are citing. In case of people are using this, they say no. In case of all while mentioning the title, you write all the letters. First letter of each words of the title should be in caps. And maybe the conjunctions and the prepositions accepted are exempted, like is, for, by, like you all write in Roman. So there's nothing. We need to write title and how to write those titles. And sometimes at the end it should be italic. But in case of MLA, so this year is written at the end. Year of publication is written at the end. Suppose you are following this. So maybe most cases students, as you are beginners, so you begin with, obviously you begin with books, then journal articles. So for how to maintain journal articles, you pick up those elements from the journals, okay, and make a sequence which element should come after what, and it is there available in the rule books and probably internet, and in some of my modules also it has been given. So with this, all these style manuals are over in our unit 3rd. Bye bye.